UFC Mexico City is this weekend, and I have Mekhi's money making plays ready to go for you guys. So let's get into the video. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe, and let's get this money making play underway. So I was looking over the card, trying to figure out who I was going to decide for the lock of the week, and it was kind of obvious, in my opinion. I'm targeting
Mekhi
Costa. He is available at around plus 140 on some books. That's where I got him tagged at. And when I did the review of the fight, I couldn't think of a certain advantage that Christian Rodriguez absolutely has in this fight. He's not, this slick striker that's going to give him a lot of trouble. He's naturally a smaller guy, and I think Mekhi Costa has the better jiu-jitsu. So, I'm not sure why he is an underdog in this fight. Maybe it's because, he just fought, I think it was about a month ago against Andre Philly. But other than that, I really can't think of another reason. Mekhi actually fought at 55. He did lose his fight to Steve Garcia, but he's naturally a much, larger man. Christian Rodriguez is a 35er who just, doesn't cut anymore. So I don't see him, bullying Mekhi in clinch or, constantly taking him down, wrestling, bullying him or anything like that. I think Mekhi Costa's striking is honestly better than Christian Rodriguez. I think he has, faster hands, faster kicks. I think Costa is going to give him some trouble on the feet as well as, when they start grappling. Looking at C-Rod's previous fights, he was getting bullied for 2 rounds against Isaac Dogarian. Granted, he was, a wrestler. He applied, a lot of heavy, pressure. But C-Rod was getting dog walked in that fight, and that guy is a 35er. He did end up, turning the tables at the end and won the fight. But like I said, man, I don't see him bullying Mekhi Costa in this fight. The wrestling, C-Rod is a wrestling-based type of fighter. I don't see him, posing much of a threat off of his back. Like when he was fighting Dogarian, he threw up 1 submission attempt in 3 rounds. Other than that, he was, getting worked on, to say the least. Christian Rodriguez to be a wrestling-based, slight pressure type of fighter, but it's, and he's also been able to nullify what his opponents have been bringing, but it's only against guys who have been inexperienced. If you look at Isaac Dogarian, if you look at Austin Bashi, he even caught Raul Rosas when he made his debut. But when he's fighting guys with, 15, 20 plus fights on the record, he's having a hard time, solving the puzzle or even getting a win. He's lost both of his fights against guys who have at least 20 fights. He lost against Julian Erosa, got caught in a guillotine, and he lost against Jonathan Pierce. That fight went decision, but he still lost. So Mekhi Costa is going on, 30 fights. He's seen a variety of styles. He's seen wrestlers before, and he's handled guys that are, similar to Christian Rodriguez. I don't see why he would not win this fight. And if they're going to give me Mekhi Costa at plus 140, I'll take it like I did last time when he fought Andre Philly and I called the sub. So, I mean, it's pretty clear to me. See, they have Mekhi Costa priced at plus 575 for submission, which is an amazing price to me, with a guy who 2 out of his 3 wins in UFC have come by submission. So I'm definitely going to be targeting that. I just don't see a world where Christian Rodriguez is bullying Mekhi Costa, pressure wrestling him, striking, beating him up on the feet, or even, finding something on the mat. I think Mekhi Costa is going to, show his experience and have his way with Christian Rodriguez. Now, I put together 2 parlays by myself that I think is more than capable of coming through. I think, all of these methods are definitely bound to happen from, the way that I read the fight. So for my first parlay, I'm going to go Edgar Chairez inside the distance. I don't see CJ Vergara, lasting to the bell. He's been, knocked out, put out before. He did put up a pretty good effort against, Daniel Lacerda, but Lacerda had him rocked in the first 2 rounds. So I don't think CJ Vergara is UFC level. Next, I'm taking David Martinez by knockout. I think he's going to, show up and show out for Mexico City. I think this card is just going to be, jam packed with a lot of excitement, a lot of finishes. I don't think we're going to see decisions. Maybe the main event. I think that's the only fight that goes decision, honestly. And the Julia Palastri fight and Lupita, maybe that goes decision as well. And then I'm also going to give you guys Manuel Torres money line. I got that at like minus 113. Put it all together, parlay gives you plus 812. I think that's a really good price, and I'm definitely going to be putting some money on that. Now for my second play, I'm also going to be taking Mekhi Costa by submission. I think I might play it straight as well, just because plus 575 is a really good price, and I do see him capable of finding Christian Rodriguez's neck. Maybe he's going to come in for a takedown, and just like Andre Philly did, and get subbed up, guillotine again. But I think that's an amazing price for Mekhi Costa, who is, a solid jiu-jitsu practitioner. And then I'm going to tie that in with Ateba Gautier inside the distance at minus 165. The only worry I have about Ateba is he's going to get Jose hurt and then tire himself out. Now, this fight is in Mexico City. There is elevation. This guy is shredded beyond, imagine. Now, when you have all that muscle and you're fighting that elevation, you tire a lot quicker. So that is one thing to worry about. But I think he has the power, capable enough to, put Jose out. Jose has been hurt, multiple times in fights that we've seen him, and I think Ateba has the power to do it. I think he's like a baby Francis Ngannou. He's really raw, like he was when he first came to the UFC. And I think the only thing that he really needs to work on is his wrestling and his wrestling defense. But other than that, the striking, it'll come together, but the power is there. And that's one thing that, you can definitely count on Ateba. You saw the knockout on Dana White Contender Series, and I think he's capable of pulling it off again. That parlay gets you at plus 984, and I'll also be playing that. If you're going to be telling, or if you found, a different variation of a bet that you would like to place, leave it off in the comments. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends. And I will be sure to, see you guys on the weigh-in recap. Thank you for tuning in for Mekhi's Money Making Plays.